I never thought I would be a victim of this. I never thought I would sit in front of a camera to say this to anyone. But here's my story. As a 16-year-old teenager that just finished high school, I was this ambitious guy that really wanted to come through for his family. I knew I had to have something to do to assist my parents because I came from a middle class family. So middle class family had seen how my parents struggled to make provisions for me and my siblings when we were in school. So I put it on myself that definitely I have to support my parents, I have to support mommy, I have to support daddy. After school, what next? What are you gonna do in uni? I African parent mentality and African parents procedure. You either study medicine, pharmacy, law, engineering. So I had to go with pharmacy. And I felt like that was the only way I was gonna be financially free and I was going to help my parents because the main motivation for me doing all this was just to help my parents and nothing else. At the end of the first year of my uni, I met this guy, Favor. Favor was my classmate. He was my classmate. So I usually see his, WhatsApp status. He posts, stories about forex chart and everything. So I was seeing consistently on his story. And one day I just asked him, "Hey, Favor, what's this whole thing about?" And he told me that it was forex trading and everything. So I was really, really keen to know more about it because that was the first time I was ever hearing it. I got people to send me all the materials that I could learn with to my email. Then my phone was stolen in school, and I knew that it was going to be a long process before I could ever get a new phone. And when I got back home for the end of the session vacation, I studied the chart for like 7 hours to 6 hours each day, just studying the chart. I knew that I had to do something about my family's finances, and that was what gave me the motivation and the courage to keep on with forex trading and keep on learning it. So I looked straight to my mom's eye and I smiled to her and I said, "Mommy, I'll get you a car." I looked and she looked at me and oh my god, in so much awe and so much happiness in her face. And my mom looked at me, supported me with the way she supported me. Then she gave me 7,000 naira to support my trading self. I had to fund that to my account. 7,000 naira then was about roughly $5 or it's 7,000 naira was more than $15. It was roughly $15, yeah, around then. Now, I said the major reason why I wanted financial freedom, why I wanted this was because of my parents. So once I started making money from Forex trading, I started sending money to my parents. I started helping my parents with some kind of things, right? I still made them to stop bothering about my needs and everything. And my mom was proud of me, my dad was proud of me. At least what I spent time learning and cracking my head and everything is actually turning out fruitful while me being in school. There was this moment you get to in trading, right? You've been making money, but you need to make more money. This moment where let's say you've been making let's say $50, $100, then you need to get to this level where you need to be making 1,000 or 2,000, and that's how the whole thing is. Then I came back and I started taking kind of losses in the market. I got some accounts to trade and I started taking losses in the market. And this kind of losses I take in the market are losses that just feel so heavy in my heart. Like I take these losses and I look at myself like, oh my god, what should I do? Like I enter a position, right? I close too early, or sometimes when the trade hits me, I SL and go my direction, or I just felt like the whole world was against me, and half of the time I was losing my head. I was always frustrated. Sometimes I sit down and I cry. Sometimes I it hit my laptop. I had the first laptop before I broke the laptop. The first one my dad got for me, I had to break the laptop. Like I threw it off the table, I broke the laptop. So I was going through all these things like because of this losses. Then I come on social media and I see people flaunting their money, their wins in the market, and I'm like, am I the only one going through this whole thing? Like I felt like I was the only one going through this whole thing. So this fateful Friday morning, this was around 3 a.m. AUD cash rate had just released their results, and I was in GBP AUD trade the previous day. When I woke up around 3:12 a.m., around that time, I saw that my trade had already been stopped out, and the whole trade now went my direction. My direction, it went that day, it moved about 200 pips before London session. I looked at my phone and I was just, okay, what again? you've been trading for a while, let's say 4 years, you've been trading for 4 years, you know that trading view was web based, they didn't have an application. So on your laptop, if you're using it, you're either on Chrome or any browser. So I was on Chrome that day, looking at the chart, sitting on my chair. Then I just clicked the next tab. I just wanted to watch something enticing, right? I just wanted to watch something. And I searched. Just thought it was a joke. Let's just say it. Now, after taking that loss, that was the first time I saw something that made me forget I even had a loss. So I saw a series of videos, you know how they could be. I was aroused, but at the same time disgusted. But I loved the way I was feeling. I love the fact that I forgot everything about the loss. The fact that I didn't have to bother again about the loss. Like I saw something I could escape. Like I escaped from reality. I felt very good. I just had to make everything feel more good. I started, stroking my you know what I'm talking about. And I was enjoying the way I was feeling. Anytime I think about how I felt then, I just feel like, oh my god. I was just feeling good that, oh my god, I was not looking at the chart again. I was not feeling bad about this loss. I totally forgot about the loss. I totally felt good. I didn't know that that was the start of my doom. That was when everything just started falling apart. So every time I took a loss, I go back to it. I started like going back to the chat. I'm going back to my laptop, clicking different videos. I like always want to take losses now. That's how it now look then because anytime I take loss, I just have this easy, quick feel after this loss. Like I feel like I was having the best time of my life then. For the first 3 months, I didn't see any difference. I take a loss, I take a loss in the market. I beat my meat. I noticed that I started losing more. But I was losing more. I didn't even have a call to action that, oh, what's really wrong in the chart? What am I doing wrongly? But I was not just concerned with anything. I just wanted to keep feeling good. Then fast forward to 5 months or 6 months into it, I started noticing a lot of things. Then my girlfriend, then will always tell me that I am overly obsessed with pornography because it was so sick that I had to tell my girlfriend sometimes that we had to watch it together, right? So that it not be like I'm hiding anything from her. And she looks at me like so much disgust and Michael, why are you doing this? Why are you so obsessed with? But I don't know. I didn't know how to tell her that this was what makes me feel good after taking a loss in the market. Now I kept on doing this and I started noticing some things in my life. Before I started, this whole thing, before I started facing those laws, I was able to do some things, certain things for myself because I was kind of profitable in the market then, but I wanted more, right? I wanted to scale up. But now I started becoming broke. Like I started losing money, I started losing accounts, and I couldn't even track them. Now this time I had more opportunities than I had before, and I still don't make any good thing out of them. I started becoming so broke. My girlfriend then always had fights, always quarrel. She's like, why am I talking to another girl? Because I had this so much lost in me because of the whole pornography. I just became a sex freak. She looks at me in the eyes and tell me that Michael, I'm changed and what's happening? This is not the Michael she knew before when she started dating me. And I just felt like I don't give everything. And she left me. And when she left me, when we ended the whole relationship and everything, I started even going way more than how I used to go before. So I noticed some changes in my life then. I started becoming broke. I lost my relationship. I also failed in school, right? And I had so low self-esteem. Like I had I had no sense of love like around me. And I always just wanted my parents proud. I wanted to make my parents proud. I wanted to come true for my parents. So I couldn't tell them any of these things. I couldn't talk to anybody about these things. Right? I was going through these things by myself. I knew what I was going through. It was like a lot of things was happening to me at the same time. I just became a failure, both in the market and in life. So for context, I and my girlfriend were in the same class. So we usually go to school together and everything. I failed in school that session. I had to repeat the year. So my ex-girlfriend then had to move to the next class and it was kind of really difficult for me because I was mentally challenged, like I was mentally down because my girlfriend has left me. She has left me, she broke off, we've broken up and she's in the next class and I'm still repeating the class. So everything was just going south by that time. I became more unprofitable, more unserious with the chat. I couldn't even really analyze the chat again. I didn't have any sense of focus again. I was like this guy that had ADHD. Like I had this disorderliness. Like I wasn't focused again. Nothing in anything. I couldn't hear somebody speak. I couldn't listen to somebody speak. I just wanted that quick dopamine anytime. I couldn't read. I don't know if we're talking about material or my school books. I couldn't read long form articles again because I just feel like I can't be patient for that. I had a failed relationship. I failed in school. Trading financially, I was down the drain. My self esteem was down the drain. A lot of things were down the drain then. So this good day, I was on YouTube. I was scrolling and I just played a video. I don't know, it just popped out. That's how YouTube is. Sometimes I just thank God for YouTube. Like, I don't even know. That day, I just, a video about pornography and, a podcast kind of video. I just clicked on it and I started like watching it. And every problem I was facing was just talked to or just talked about in that video. Like I was like, wait, you don't mean it. Like this is how bad this thing can make me. Like how bad it could make you be. Then that was when I took a big step. She had left me then, I was alone. Nothing was there. Nothing at all. So I was like, okay, I have to take, drastic measures for this. I have to take solutions to my hands because I could already feel how bad I was turning. I could feel how horrible I was becoming as a person, right? I could feel it already because it's getting to a year I started this whole thing. Lost, no purpose. The charts that I'm trying to focus on, make money from, no money at all. It just made my life useless. Then I started. I came back to the charts. I came back to my laptop. I had to start deleting everything. This has to be the time I have to take drastic measures. So every time I come to my Chrome browser, at least I don't tend to see the whole, pornography site. Then I started my fitness journey. I started running, I started going to the gym, I started finding purpose in myself. When I started this, that's why I always thank God for running. Running was something that really changed my life. Like it made me take a deep breath. This is the thing that I wish every trader can know today. You say trading and self-development go hand in hand. If you're a bad trader, you're definitely bad in self-development, right? It's just a hand in hand something. If you're a good trader, you're a good person generally. So the fact I love the trading was that trading didn't only make me financially free. It doesn't even have the ability, it doesn't have the only potential of making you financially free, but also has the potential of making you a better person, both in the market and in life in general. I love the fact that I was feeling good. I had this whole feel of accomplishment anytime I go to the gym or anytime I go run, unlike before. I am someone that easily get obsessed with something that is good. So I felt so good anytime I ran, and it wasn't easy the first time. Every time I ran, I felt so good. So every morning around 4 a.m. I'm back to the road. On the road, I am running, and that's the time where I think clearly. That's the time when everything just fixed in place. Then I started doing it consistently. I started reading books. I started following people that help. Mind you, I'm not that religious guy. I'm not that guy. I'm not so religious. So my relationship with God then was really shaky. But I had to fix everything then. I started praying more often. I was fighting the unwillingness to have focus. I was fighting. It wasn't easy, guys. Trust me, it wasn't easy. Then I was so out of YouTube. I had a YouTube channel. This channel you're watching, obviously. I was out of YouTube because I was trying to fight a lot of things. And this battle is kind of deadly because you're fighting it alone. Like it's just you. You're doing it behind the screen. Nobody sees it. Nobody sees you. You're not killing anybody. Nobody sees it as a bad thing. You're not committing crime. So you can keep doing it. All of a sudden, I knew that rules I was setting in the market, I started following it because I was building my discipline already outside the chat. I started becoming more focused and becoming more calm anytime, in any situation at all I find myself. I made my first payout. I started seeing so much returns. And there's something that you have to notice in the market, right? In trading and in life in general. Happiness isn't just money. I'm telling you right now that happiness isn't just money. Because I know I am not making that big bag of money that I had dreamt of. But I'm happier than ever I have ever been in my life. I feel like I am in a zone where I have always wished that I could be. That's when my whole story changed. You take a loss in the market. You're going through shit in life. How do you wind down? How do you rewind? How do you calm down? Some people drink, some people go clubbing, some people it's like I did. But trust me, it's not going to make you feel better in the long run. It's only going to make you in a deeper mess than how you've ever been. This was something that took me time to conquer. This was something that took me time to fight. And I thought that I should just share to the world or should share to somebody that really needs this help. Focus on yourself. Focus on building yourself. Focus on doing things that you find rewardful. Don't go for cheap dopamine. Focus on things that when you do, you feel really glad that you did them. Those are the kind of dopamine you should focus on. And trust me, you'll be more composed in the chat. You'll be more like you'll be a person, you'll be a better person. You'll be a better person than you've ever been in this life. The money will keep coming. Your mental health is just at the max. But pornography, trust me, it can ruin you. It ruined my life. And it's by the grace of God I was able to come out. Now it's been, and now also I look at how disgusting it looks already. Like it disgusts me. I've gotten to this level that it disgusts me, like it icks me. Social media is so corrupted right now that you might just be on your own scrolling through Twitter and stuff like that, and you just see them pop out and everything. You just see all this nudity and everything, so much lost. It's very hard. But when you try and bring out yourself from the 1%, when they say 99% of traders lose, this 99% of people are not only traders, that's life in general. Majority or 99% of people are in the dark side in the world. It seems normal to people, but you have to focus on building yourself. You have to follow the right people. You have to read the right books. You have to the right path. Even if it looks lonely, guys, trust me, that's the only way. That is the only way you can be whole. I just thought I should share this story with you guys, and I hope if you find this video really helpful, and I hope it changes somebody tomorrow.